Hello and welcome to the reboot of the Awesome Ross gaming channel. I am Awesome Ross, as you've probably already figured out, and I'm coming to you from what was formerly known as the Mysidian Mage Video Game Curiosities channel. Now I've decided to reboot the channel. It's going to take a bit of a different focus going forward, so I thought I would take a moment to go into the history and backstory of the channel, if you will, and the reboot. So, when I first started this channel a while back, it was basically just a place for me to goof around on YouTube, really. I posted a lot of game glitch videos, just different stuff that I came across while I was gaming that I thought, oh, hey, that's kind of interesting. I should document that and, toss it up on the internet. I also posted some game tricks and some various online hijinks that me and my friends got into, particularly on Animal Crossing for the DS. And all that stuff's in the backlog, but going forward, I've decided to reboot the channel. I've spent the last couple of weeks working on new graphics and ideas for videos that I want to do for the channel. I will be actually appearing on the channel now as well, and I thought I would kind of start off doing some game haul videos. Now, back when I first started this channel, there wasn't nearly as much of an audience for things like Let's Plays, let alone, game collecting, game hauls. I mean, I would go on game collecting hunts, but it wasn't anything that I necessarily thought, oh, I should post a video of this, because I thought it's kind of a niche thing, like maybe 12 people would watch it, but game collecting has really taken off in recent years. I mean, the amount of specialty shops for classic, retro game stuff has really mushroomed. And if you look at certain things like, for example, the price of SNES games, the value on a lot of classic games, not all of them, but I mean, if you look at stuff like Aero Fighters, Hagane, Pocky and Rocky, Wild Guns, of course, Earthbound. I mean, there's a number of SNES games that have gone like way up in value. So it's an interesting time to be a game collector. And I thought it could be fun to reboot the channel and kind of do some game collecting videos. Just see where it goes, me and my best friend talk about it a lot. He actually has sold off some of his SNES stuff recently and made a killing off of it. He kind of just picked out some stuff he was willing to part with, like, the box and manual for Mega Man X3. That's another one that's gone way up in value. And different stuff like that. And he threw it up on eBay and made a lot of money off of it. So it's a fun time to collect games. It's exciting to see all these games go up in value. So I just thought, why not? I'll start a series of, game haul videos. Just, have fun with it. So, without further ado, on to the games. Okay, first up, we have a modern iteration of a classic game series whose roots go all the way back to the 8-bit era. Surprise! Not a Square Enix game. It's actually Ninja Gaiden 3 for the Wii U. Just a bit of tomfoolery to maintain the element of surprise. But, quick disclaimer, there are actually no 8 or 16-bit games from this run, unfortunately. They are the kind of thing that I usually look out for, but there was nothing in that spectrum this time. At least nothing in that sort of magical nexus of desirability versus price, which is important for a collector. You want to try to get good deals on things. This was a good deal, though. It was actually $6.99, and as you can see, it's still sealed. It's got the original shrink wrap. I haven't even opened it yet. It is also the Razor's Edge version of the game, which is kind of the definitive version, at least until they come out with Ninja Gaiden Sigma 3, but I digress. It's got bonus content such as the ability to play as Ione from Dead or Alive. So it is a very good deal for $6.99. I couldn't pass that one up. Next up, we have this cool Perler Art Sonic. Not strictly a game per se, but I picked this one up at the Good Old Game Fest 2015, which is a classic game fest that they held in Coleman, Alabama. Honestly, there's kind of a dearth of classic gaming stuff in North Alabama, so kind of wanted to go and check this out and support their efforts. You know, I appreciate what they're trying to do, bringing some classic game stuff to Alabama. And there was a really nice girl who had a booth there who she had made a lot of this kind of artwork. And being a Sonic fan, I thought he would look cool in the fridge. You know, he's got a little magnet on the back. And, yeah, I just thought it was a neat thing to pick up. So, that was that one. Then we have Hermosa for the Wii. Honestly, I kind of deliberated on this one. You know, there's different schools of thought on game collecting. You know, different collectors have different philosophies on things. Some people may try to get every single version of a game. Other people may focus on specific versions and kind of cover all their bases in terms of features. Still others may try to just get one definitive version of a game. Me personally, I feel like, you know, especially since you don't always know when you're going to get back around to a game, you know, you want to try to, if possible, get the most definitive version of the game that is available at that time. Now, that's the theory. In practice, it's actually a lot harder because they tend to re-release games, especially if they're popular. You know, it may get re-released every few years, and, you know, the new version effectively becomes the definitive version at that point. But, point being, I knew that there was a Vita version of this game that's got extra content. You know, the Rebirth version. So I'd kind of been holding out on that one. I'd been holding out a while, and the Vita version came out, and I was like, I kind of want that. But the thing is, I don't have a Vita right now. I used to, but I don't currently. And this was only $9. I'd kind of been wanting to pick it up for a long time anyway. I couldn't really resist it at that price point. It does have the original box and book and everything. Really, you know, beautiful 2D game by Vanillaware, who has made a lot of solid 2D games like Odin Sphere, Grim Grimoire, more recently Dragon's Crown, and I love 2D games, so it was, you know, just definitely kind of up my alley on that sort of thing. But then we have Record of Agarest War, which is a decent RPG for the Xbox 360. Also only $9. Nice colorful art style. Yeah, again, it's got the box and book and everything. Very important for a collector. You know, you want to try to have a complete copy of the game. You know, also you want to have any bonus content, such as, you know, posters, little freebies that came with the game, DLC, all that stuff. You know, it's just, you always want to try to have as complete of a edition of the game as you can. But actually, the main reason why I picked this up was, I also have Record of Agarest War 0. So since I already had that one, you know, I thought these would go well together. They'll look nice on the shelf together. Definitely a major motivating factor on that one. Then we have Space Raiders for the GameCube, which was a $5 purchase. Honestly, the reviews on it, I seem to recall them not being that great. But this one was just kind of a lark. It's kind of a spiritual successor to Space Invaders, as, you know, the cover indicates here. It's complete, you know, it's got the original box and book and everything. It's in pretty good shape. I kind of just wanted to check out the gameplay on this one, really, and see what it's like. I'd always been curious about it, so, you know, for $5, it's not a big loss, even if it's not that great. Last but certainly not least, we have the infamous Target Terror for the Wii. Now, if you read the reviews on this one, they will probably tell you this game is pretty terrible. But I would like to put forth a slightly different viewpoint on the game, or actually very different. Now this particular copy of the game has got a few dings on it. You know, it's got the original box and book and everything. The case is a little dinged up though, a couple scratches on the disc, but it plays fine. I put it in and checked it out. You know, it was only $5, and I'd been wanting it for a while. This game was actually designed by Eugene Jarvis, who you may or may not know who he is, but if you don't, he's a famous game designer who's designed a lot of really cool games, you know, going all the way back to Defender and Robotron 2084, going up through, you know, Narc and Cruisin' USA. You know, almost everybody's played Cruisin' USA or one of its sequels at some point. Eugene Jarvis's games are just always really fast-paced and action-packed, and I just think they're a lot of fun. This game is actually quite a fun game if you take it for what it is. You know, it's just a light gun shooter. You know, it's basically the gameplay is, if you've ever played Area 51, this is basically Area 51 with terrorists. You know, that's the gameplay. It's a really good game if you want to just pop in something for, you know, like maybe 30 minutes to an hour, just, you know, blast some terrorists, you know. It's just yeah, the style of the gameplay is kind of simplistic. It's not going to be any Skyrim. It's not going to be any 100-hour plus gameplay experience, but it's a great game just to toss in and, you know, blast some terrorists, especially for 2 players. It's kind of really designed to be a 2-player game. Or, you know, you can also do the special mode for the Wii where you can do basically the 2-player mode and play both guns yourself. But I originally played this game years ago at a classic game party that I went to. Someone wanted to kind of showcase this game, and we actually had a lot of fun with it. So I would say give it a shot, check it out. You know, you may be pleasantly surprised, and I guess that's it for this time. Thanks for checking it out, and if you like the video, please like and comment on it.